Distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Nyako, the sponsor of the Not Too Young to Run bill, the Senate, Honorable Tony Nwulu, the sponsor of the same bill in the House of Representatives. I understand he's not here, but he's joining us very soon. My colleagues, members of the National Assembly, Her Excellency, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ms. Catherine Lang, the Speaker with a small s, Speaker Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, my own brother, Luke Onifok, members-elect of the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly who are here as participants. Mr. Fantel Benz, Country Director, International Republican Institute. Representatives of development partners, our hosts, the Executive Director of Yaga Africa, the unyielding Barrister Samson Itodo, and members of your team, also leaders of the Not Too Young to Run movement in Nigeria, participants, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm invited here to highlight this convergence as a keynote speaker, but I must warn that this key I'm about to deliver is long. And so I'll crave your indulgence to oblige me because I've put my thought in paper because of the nature of the audience I'm addressing today, so that I don't miss anything. Today, as always, I find it worthwhile, a very worthwhile endeavor, to speak about our country and its latent potentials exemplified by those of you here, millions of others who you now represent. A country has never been in short supply of those who tell truth to power, but finding those opportune, such as you are now, to execute the clarion call of nation building. However, despite the foregoing, the Nigerian youth has, since our nation's return to democratic rule in 1999, been kept on the wings and fringes of leadership. By the position of this document, we refuse to see the Nigerian youth as merely a representation of tomorrow's leadership, but a distinct social category of people who are educated, competent, and prepared for the task of today's leadership. A few examples of our national history buttress the fact that when given the opportunity, the Nigerian youth possesses the capacity to lead, and to lead with distinction. Let me begin by quickly reminding you of the immortal words of one of Africa's finest, the late Mr. Kofi Annan, a former Secretary General of the United Nations, who said, and I quote, "No one is born a good citizen. No nation is born a democracy. Rather, both are processes that continue to evolve over a lifetime. Young people must be included from birth. A society that cuts itself off from its youth severs its lifeline. It is condemned to bleed to death." End of quote. It is because of this and many other important factors that support the 8th National Assembly to pass the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. While there was cynicism from certain quarters as to the commitment of lawmakers to the passage of the bill, but as legislators, we were never in doubt as to the importance of the bill and how much youth energy will drive governance in our country. The not too young to run law is not so much about the exclusion of any particular class from the political space. Rather, it is designed to offer a platform for our youth population to build synergy with the segments of society for national development. As you have known by now, the law is not designed as a cutthroat competition between the young people and the old, but an opportunity to build a consensus, a sort of governance symphony where all energies are deployed for our common good. Let me thank the organizers of this conference for young lawmakers at both the national and state levels. Also, I congratulate all of you on your elections, and I should add myself as representatives of our people, by extension, our country, Nigeria. The importance of your elections is situated in the fact that the Nigerian youth, our youth demographic, at an estimated population of 78 million, would be the fourth largest country in Africa and 19th largest country in the world if it were a country. But what have our sheer numbers, numerical strength, been put to? It is in the light of this that I find very interesting the theme for this conference, which is convergence, leadership, power, and politics. What this simply means is that you are now leaders. Part of the elite is some of you lead so much. It is instructive you begin to come to terms with the remarks that you are now part of not them. So what this is all about is leadership. And the fact that we're here is leadership also that compels this attendance, because the passage of this bill wouldn't have been possible without the demonstration of true leadership. But I must tell you that it was very, very tough. For some of you who are beneficiaries, it was very, very tough. So the value that was instrumental in driving you to seek for office is what will define how you carry yourself, what effort you put into the art of lawmaking, and how much impact you desire to make, not for yourself, but for your constituents. The part of leadership, price of leadership, most of you already know, is mostly steep, sometimes frightening if you're in it for the wrong reasons. It challenges your character, tests your patience, and risks your reputation. So in the end, it is what you choose to do with the leadership that has been conferred on you that will count. No one should envy you, because you are coming on board at a time our beloved country is on its knees, having ravaged our national blessings until we are now desperate to find redemption. I have no good news for you, my friends. This is a time like no other time. All of us know that in Nigeria. Do you know, for instance, that Nigeria is the third most dangerous country in the world to live in after Afghanistan and Syria? Tell me a single extended family in Nigeria that has not suffered the pains of kidnapping, banditry, or terrorism. Do you know that life expectancy in Nigeria is estimated by Open Government to be at 53.8 in 2017, which gives Nigeria a world life expectancy ranking of 214 out of 224 countries ranked. Do you know that 1 out of every 3 Nigerians go to bed hungry every night? To our shame, we have become a byword among nations who now tell us to our faces that we're now the poverty capital of the world. Do you know that we have no single world-class hospital and no world-class institution of learning? Consequently, medical tourism abroad is the accepted norm with their consequences on our national economy. So many young people's life ambition nowadays is not to study in the Western world anymore, but anywhere except Nigeria. No need to remind us that unemployment is now officially at nearly 30%, if not more. Underemployment is more grave a problem in the country. So many out there working their hearts out for tech homes that cannot take them home, much less put food on their tables. Let me stop here so as not to depress us any further. I don't want to sniff that youthful energy from us by telling us all this bad news. All that I've highlighted so far are actually not the disease. They are symptoms of the disease. We have no parallel in our history, as nothing in Nigeria's history prepares us for this. Nigeria's real disease is lack of leadership. I've always disagreed with all those who say our major national disease is financial corruption. Rather, the real disease has been the absence of true leadership, which in turn breeds moral corruption and wickedness. Get a true leader that solves moral corruption and wickedness. When that happens, you will search for financial corruption to no avail. Unfortunately, the leadership model we have practiced so far is the kind of leadership that produces